On-time traffic.
Julie, thanks. The NFL, well, it's a billion-dollar business, of course. So why are some NFL cheerleaders making only $5 an hour?
It's a question now being asked after the Oakland Raiders were slapped with a lawsuit yesterday by current and former cheerleaders claiming wage theft and unfair practices. For more on this, Annie joins us with some of the details. Hey, Annie, good morning.
Hey, yeah, so far this only involves the Raiders, but so far, right. I'm sure other NFL squads are watching very, very closely. And the lawsuit alleges that the organization withholds all pay from the Raiderettes until the end of the season, and it does not pay for all hours worked and forces the cheerleaders to pay many of their own business expenses, including makeup. According to the filing, Raiders cheerleaders are paid just over $1,200 per season, which amounts to less than $5 per hour for the time they spent rehearsing, performing, and appearing at events for which they are not compensated. The team has not yet commented on this lawsuit, so it'll be interesting. This story is gaining a lot of traction because
if this holds, this could change the whole cheerleading spectrum across the league, because they're not the only team that does that. They're not the only team that pays the cheerleaders not a lot of money and withholds the money until the end of the season.
And I used to be with the Redskins. We did get paid at the end of the season, but they never penalized us like the Raiders are getting penalized for not bringing palms to practice and all these other little things. But your appearances were paid separately throughout the year. As you appeared at these, you would get the check. But at the end of the season, you got it, and we got $75 per game. And, you know, the cheerleaders it's the whole game day experience. They're entertaining all the fans, getting everyone hyped up.
What is the reason behind such a small amount of pay? I mean, is it
all
you
the
go
perks
in like
that go with the job?
Okay, is that why?
That's another thing. People think of this as a very glamorous thing, and they're like, you're in a really good and awesome position. But when you actually are there, you realize, wow, I have to practice 20 hours a week.
Working,
In addition, you're either a mom or holding down a school major, whatever, or have a job. I mean, it's a dedication, and they're not being fairly compensated for it. So,
but it's one of those, you know, supply and demand. If you go to the Redskins cheerleader tryouts, you will be amazed how many people will show up for that, knowing in advance what you're going to be paid and what is going to happen. But it's still there.
I'm surprised to hear that. I had no idea.
Super competitive, and more than 400 girls at least showed up for the Redskins the one year that I tried out. And you know, NFL mascots get paid, I think, close to or up to $65,000. So there's a huge difference.
Wow.
You know, and both are bringing the game day experience.
And $75 a game. And you have to finish the season out to get your check. So, but I mean, but it's not uncommon for teams to do that. You know, and that's just the culture of it. But it's because the demand is there, and you know, they say, look, we're putting you out there in the national spotlight.
I bet it changes.
I think if this lawsuit goes through, it's all going to change. All right, thanks, Annie. Speaking of football, the Super Bowl snow plan getting put to the test now. Find out how the crew at MetLife performed during their drill. Of course, they got a little bit of snow in New York, just like we did here.
All right, plus, I'm not talking to you, Justin Bieber, but for the rest of us, rev up your engines. The Washington Auto Show has rolled back into town. Holly is taking us inside a little later this hour, 7:22.